Hi, thank you for joining me. It's such a pleasure to see you. Thank you for this Tuesday afternoon. I want to talk about something really serious, just really impactful and really powerful. So as you're coming in, will you do me a favor? Will you tag a friend? Will you invite somebody into this live right now? Because this is May, excuse me, is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to discuss these signs and what to look for when people are suffering in silence. It could be you, it could be a loved one, but we're going to talk about that. And I want to invite you to join me every week. Turn your notifications on. Make sure that you're following me, and join me in my Facebook community of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. Because for the rest of this month and every single week, I'm going to discuss what does it look like when we're dealing with mental health issues? How do we deal with it as a collective, as a community, right? How is it showing up in all of us in different ways and different layers? There are 3 specific layers I'm going to address today. And for the rest of this month, I'm going to delve into each layer a little more deeply. And I want you guys to join me. It's going to be some very powerful and transformative information. It's really going to also be some healing information. So I want to take this opportunity to really share with you and be an advocate and a voice and a safe space as we delve into this month of mental health awareness. It is so important, guys, and so many of us are dealing with mental issues. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're crazy or anything like that. It just means that you're disconnected and there's so much going on internally within you that you just can't find that balance. You can't find that safe space where you can kind of process through what you're thinking about, what you're experiencing, what is happening in your life. And so I wanted to take this time out to come on live again, my name, and to share with you guys just ways that we can really begin to acknowledge this month of mental health awareness. It is a very important issue to me. I dealt with my own mental health issues, especially during COVID, during 2020 and 2021 specifically. I really suffered a lot in my mental and emotional space, and I went through a healing journey. And I just want to be an advocate, a voice, in a safe space. So again, as you're coming on in, I want to invite you to, first of all, like and share this video, this live. Make sure to follow me. If you're in my Instagram family, make sure you follow me and turn on those notifications, because I'm going to be going live every week to delve into more ways that we can deal with and discover and resources and tools, and to recognize when somebody is suffering in silence. And if that's you, I want to welcome you, and I want to thank you for joining me. If you're on my Facebook page and my Facebook family, thank you for joining the community. Again, make sure that you like, comment, and share this video. Bring somebody in, invite them in. Let's talk about this mental wellness and mental health awareness month, and to deal with these issues. Let's just be open and honest about them. So I love just sharing my testimony of how I endured and what I've gone through and what I'm going through. All of us are going through something. I'm in a life pivot right now. I'm in a midlife pivot. So I'm in a phase of my life where my life is literally pivoting again. And there are times where you deal with mental issues because you don't know what to think anymore. You don't know how to think. So much is shifting and changing in our internal being that externally we're just like all over the place. And so thank you for joining me. And let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Bozeman. I am your safe space influencer. I'm also your mindset transformationalist. And I am founder and creator of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. It truly is a safe space of healing and wellness. It's a space where you can come in and through virtual one-on-one coaching or live coaching, workshops, retreats, and seminars, I share with you ways and give you tools and resources to help you really begin to find balance between your personal life and even your professional life, how to really begin to create wellness in all areas of your life. And this month, we're going to really focus on our mental state, what we're thinking about, how we're perceiving things, how we're processing things, right? So again, I want to thank you. And again, to my Facebook family, if you are on my Facebook page, please send those stars. If this content is supporting you, encouraging you, if it is giving you an aha moment, if it's a time or content that can really just help you find a safe space or a way to really deal with this mental wellness and to create it. Will you send those stars? You can support me by sending stars as a content creator. I use these stars to really continue to allow me to create content, to really stay focused and honed in on what's current, what's happening, what's going on, so that my message can be relevant and important and impactful, and it allow you to be empowered and to feel empowered. Yes. So thank you so much. So again, let's get started. Let's jump right on in. And as you're joining me again, please like, comment, and share this video. Bring your family and friends into it. Let's talk about this month of mental health awareness. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you. Again, I just said earlier in my introduction that I am going through a midlife pivot. For those of you who don't know what that means I'm in menopause. And I am discovering that it is throwing me into this crazy mental loop. And I'm finding myself having to unlearn and relearn some things in my life. What was holding me and keeping me and supporting me when I was in my early years, in my teens and in my 20s and in my 30s, it doesn't have the weight, the power, or the significance to hold me and support me now that I'm in my fifth, getting ready to step into my sixth decade of life. I'm leveling up. This year I'll be on level 58. Yeah, I leveled up. I'm doing things. But what I'm learning, and as I embrace this month of mental health awareness, I really wanted to come on and share with you all these 3 layers of mental health that we deal with on a consistent and daily basis. Each and every one of us will find ourselves on one of these layers or find ourselves affected by one of these layers. And most of us, if not all of us, have been intertwined. There's been more than one, and we try to figure out how we can get up out of it, how we can find our balance, how we can just feel like we're in control of our thoughts. Right? Good grief. And if you've ever felt like you're just off kilter, this weather is throwing people off, just the energy and the vibe and the feel in our atmosphere externally in our environment is throwing people off. We're watching all of this violence take place. So in our mental state and well-being, we don't know if we can be safe. Financially speaking, many people are struggling. And I do mean struggling. And it is to the point where it's creating these mental challenges and stress and fatigue in our minds. And we don't know what to believe anymore. We don't know what way to go and how to move and maneuver. And when we think we're okay, when we think we're coming up out of, and there are parts of us that do and that have been healed. But there's many parts of us that are still healing. And we're experiencing these situations and these circumstances and just a way, our way of being. I don't know if you guys realize this. It's a sidebar, but it's going to relate to what I'm talking about with this being in Mental Health Awareness Month. But if you recently been watching the news, there's 2 major events that took place. Well, 3. One was the bad weather that's been going on down in Louisiana. It has just literally, and if you notice, nobody's been talking about it anymore. But there have been towns in the state of Louisiana that are no longer existing. Gone. Gone. Parts of Texas, Georgia, that are suffering because of this weather, these tornadoes, these hurricanes, all this craziness that's happening in our weather system. There's snow out in California. Minnesota just had another 5 inches of snow. Where I'm located at in the East Coast, and many of you guys know where I'm at, it's freezing out here. It's rainy and it's cold. And it's throwing people in this crazy mental loop of dysfunction. Like, you don't know what to wear. You don't know how to dress. You want to find the energy to enjoy yourself, but you're drained because it's so dang cold. You don't want to go nowhere. And it messes with our psyche. It does. And if you felt like that, or if you're feeling like that, just put a thumbs up in the comment section and let me know, because it is real what's happening. Right? The second thing that's been happening is that we had that mass shooting in Texas. And they're still looking for the guy. He's on the loose still. And that is, I can't even tell you how many mass shootings within this year we've had. So where's our safety in our society? Feeling like I'm safe to go out and enjoy the day, or go to the grocery store, or go to Walmart, or go to church, or go and have a good time with my friends, and not feel like something is going to happen. Now you're tensed up and you're watching everything and everybody, just to feel safe in your community, in your neighborhood. Right? And now we're having these financial situations take place, and the main thing, the most recent thing that's taking place is, and I don't know how many of you read about this, but there was this explosion that took place, and I believe it was in Texas, and it killed over 18,000 cattle. Why am I bringing that up? That's our meat, and that's our dairy. So when eggs were at $8 a dozen last year, beginning of last year, how much more do you think it's going to be by the end of the summer? 18,000 cattle. 18,000 family. All that milk, all the cheese you get, the butter, the beef, all that stuff. Our food prices is getting ready to skyrocket. And it's time where our resources and our support systems are all dried up. So, with May being Mental Health Awareness, I want to ask you, how are you doing in your mental space? This is a judgment-free space, but it is important that we begin to have these types of discussions. And so I want to quickly come on and share with you these 3 layers of mental health, mental instability, mental chaos, where our thought processes and our mindsets are attacked the most. And the first layer is in our generational thinking. Have you ever heard of the term stinking thinking? I'm dating myself. It is that type of thought process where, it's how you just believe, how your family, it's just what we do. When you find yourself saying, that's just how my family is. That's just what they do. That's how they think. That's how we do things. This generational thinking is creating an imbalance in our mental space. It's the traditions of men. It requires a robotic response, because it's how your family did it. And they expect you to react, respond, and think a certain way, because that's how everybody else does. And this generational thinking is causing and putting many people, many of us, into this mental chaos and instability. Because you can't get out of thinking for yourself. It becomes restrictive, this generational thinking. Right? Like I said, I call it the stinky thinking. It stinks. And then you find yourself struggling between what they believe and what you want to believe. And so that is your first layer in this mental wellness and mental instability. It's in your generational thinking. It locks you down. It holds you hostage. It holds your ability to think for yourself hostage, because you have to think in terms of how others are going to respond to you. And so their reaction and their emotional thoughts and their emotional feelings are dictating your belief system. So how do you break free from that so that you don't take this road of mental instability and lose yourself in the chaos of their belief system? So that's your first layer. The second layer that I'm going to talk about, and now again, each one of these layers, I'm going to really delve into each one during this month of mental health awareness. And each week I'm going to take one of these layers and we're going to really delve into them, give you some resources, what it looks like, the signs of finding yourself in that space, how you can begin to break free from it and create a mental health and wellness in your own thoughts, in your own feelings, in your own emotions. And be okay with them not being okay, with the healing and transforming you. So again, make sure that you are turn on your notifications. Make sure you're following me. If you're on my Instagram page, make sure you follow me. Turn those notifications on so that you can get the notification when I go live. If you're on my Facebook family, make sure that you like, comment, and share. Follow me on Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls, because I'm really going to share this information. It's so important to me to be able to do this, and I'm so honored to have the opportunity to share this information with you and resources so that we can help each other and you don't have to suffer in silence any longer. Now, the second layer is collective thinking. This is the way everybody else is thinking. It's what our society tells you we should believe. It's that thinking that we don't have control over. There is a manipulation that comes with this collective thinking. It comes through the actions in our environment and in our society. We're watching it now. We're responding and we're thinking about what's going to happen next. Like I mentioned, the 3 major events that have taken place that is really affecting our mental state. And one is the weather, especially that's been happening down in Louisiana, down in Texas. The other one was talking about the mass shootings that have been taking place. And the one that just recently took place where the guy went and killed 5 people, 5 family members, I believe, and he's still on the loose. So our safety is now in jeopardy. Like, we're wondering whether or not we can walk out and be safe in our own, environment and in our own space. And then the third most recent one was the major explosion that took place at a refinery, I believe, in Texas, where it killed 18,000 cattle, which now is going to affect all of our food supplies. I don't know about you guys. I'm a Starbucks. I love Starbucks. And one of my favorite drinks is a matcha lemonade. Well, Starbucks, the corporation, it has a shortage of matcha. They can't get that matcha powder in. It's been weeks. I mean, you're watching these food shortages take place now. With the 18,000 cattle that we just lost, watch what's getting ready to happen in the months to come. And by the fall, watch how high the prices of our food is going to be, our dairy products, our meat products. So this collective thinking has this manipulation attached to it that causes us to go into these mindsets and these thought processes and these belief systems where we begin to struggle internally in what we believe. We don't know what to believe anymore. You don't know if you pick up a hamburger, if it's real meat or not. You don't know if the eggs you're eating, if they're real or if they're powdered. And it's just the truth, family. It is a suffering that we as a society are dealing with, and we're dealing with it in silence. Why? Who are we going to tell? The people that we should be able to talk to are the ones that's causing the problems. Yeah, that part. Now, the third layer is your personal and internal thinking and belief system. What you believe about you, your point of view. How you feel about yourself, about your life, about where you are today, where you want to go tomorrow, where you were yesterday. It is finding that balance so that we're not continuing to go down this space of self-sabotage and self-hate, self-harm, self-isolation, and watch this, self-manipulation. Because sometimes it's not them manipulating you, you're manipulating yourself. So these three layers are very important to really take a look at. And again, I am going to spend this month and every week, starting next week, I'm going to come on live. I'm going to talk about one of these layers. And next week, next Monday, I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk about the generational thinking and how it's really been affecting us throughout our lives. Like I have recently gone through a real deep cleansing. I call it a Queen Esther's cleansing, where I had to go from thinking like a pauper and poverty mindset and move myself into this wealthy consciousness mindset. But I had to transform my thought process and my beliefs around money and my ability to create it, to call it in, to be a safe space influencer, to be able to share this type of content and know the value and worth of it all. And it's been a challenge. And many people are going through that challenge while they're trying to discover where they want to go in this next phase of their lives. I'm in midlife pivot. So now my life is totally transforming and changing. And those of us who are in our 5th and 6th decade of life, we're in our midlife pivot. How we thought when we were back in our teens and 20s and 30s is not the same way that we're thinking right now. It can't even carry the weight of the stress and the fatigue and feeling overwhelmed that we're feeling right now. So we have to change our mindsets and our belief systems and our habits. Yes. And again, if this information is resonating with you, if it's making you have one of those, oh my God, somebody gets it. Oh my God, I get it now. I understand moments of clarity. Will you share and support me by sharing those stars and sending those stars, especially those of you that are on my Facebook page, those of you that are on my Instagram family? Will you come over into my Facebook community of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls, and will you send those stars? It is a beautiful way for you to support a content creator like myself, a safe space influencer, as I continue to just delve into this information, to delve into these moments of passion and just to share. It's so important to really be that safe space. Like that's it. And that's what many of us need right now. This month is going to allow you to have an opportunity to really just acknowledge where you are in your thought process. Find that balance again. Disconnect from those generational belief systems that are no longer serving you unapologetically. Love you, family. I can't think like that. I don't want to think like that. I don't want to behave like that. I don't want to be restricted to have to respond that way. I don't want to feel like your responses are robotic in order to make them feel comfortable with you and around you. So if you're ready to step into and join me as we delve into these 3 layers of mental wellness, make sure again to like, comment, and to turn on your notifications so that you know when I'm going to go live and we can have this discussion. And again, Monday I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk about generational thinking, how it's affecting us, how it's transforming us, and how it's hindering us. And show you how you can begin to break free from it all. So I want to thank you guys so very much. I didn't want to come before you long, but I really wanted to share those 3 layers with you. I wanted to introduce you to May being Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's have a discussion about this. It is okay. Listen, it is okay to not be okay, and it's even better to ask for help when you're not. So if you have any questions, any comments, please hit me up in my inbox. Listen, please don't try to solicit me for anything. Don't come at me with any type of you trying to get to know. If you want to really talk about mental health and wellness, if you need a support system, if you need a safe space, somebody that can just help guide you. I'm a life coach. I'm a certified health and wellness life coach. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. You can schedule an appointment with me and we can talk about where you are and where you want to go. And I can show you how to create a strategic action plan so that you can really begin to create that mental wellness and just feel good about who you are and who you're becoming. Especially for those of us in our midlife pivot. I don't like calling it menopause anymore. I like calling it midlife crisis because like I said before, we're not in crisis. We're not in crisis. But if you are, it's okay to seek help. So I hope this helped. I hope this was an encouragement to you. Again, please send those stars. Guys, please continue to support. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I so honor and appreciate each and every one of you. Have a beautiful rest of your Tuesday. Make sure that you're following me. Join me over my Facebook community of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. Make sure to turn on those notifications so that you know when I'm going live and we can continue this discussion during Mental Health Awareness Month. I hope that you are feeling well. If you're having any type of issues or struggles, again, please reach out. Just inbox me, let me know. We can schedule a one-on-one session. I'll be more than happy to talk with you and to help you bring clarity into what seems like it's your chaos. I love you guys so very much. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a fabulous rest of your week. And let's get ready to create wellness in our emotional, mental, and spiritual spaces. All right. I will see you guys on Monday. Bye, family.